What is up, nice? So, this is another episode of Thought Factory, basically where we watch Inside Star Citizen and we, tell our opinions and thoughts on it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started.
Hey, y'all. Greetings from sunny United Kingdom. It's a time of change at the moment as I relocate from Los Angeles and our Winslow and Frankfurt offices prepare their move into the new digs over the next coming months. That means that this quarter of ISC may be a little different, a little more run and gun than usual, recording from wherever we can week to week, whether that's our old Winslow office you're already familiar with, sticking our heads into the currently under construction new offices here in Manchester, or even my new flat that's currently filled with half-constructed IKEA furniture. Yes, it's an exciting time for ISC and for Cloud Imperium Games as a whole as we continue to grow. So please, pardon our dust this quarter as we continue our look inside of Star Citizen's continuing development. And we're going to start things off this new quarter and this new year of the show with a brief look at a presentation given recently by our own Forrest Steffen to directors, detailing an evolution of our wear and biome systems we want to put forward into development later this year.
Hey, it's the Terrapid. I got
Greetings
some Star Wars
Forrest
vibes
here.
on this.
Some of you may know this. I love playing Star Citizen. I play it on Fridays. And I was running around Microtech when I realized there was a bit of a problem. There were some major inconsistencies between the characters, the weapons, and the environment in regards to the biome accumulation. So I tried to come up with a solution, and then I put together a presentation. Because before we decide to work on a feature of any kind, it is important to make certain we're all on the same page. So today, I'm going to share with you some of those ideas from the presentation I recently gave to CR and other directors before any of the work had started. Now, disclaimer, Jared said you'd find it interesting. So if it's not, blame him. So for those of you who don't know, biome is weather and accumulation is the
Alright, so I'll pause it here already. So that's the amount of detail that Star Citizen goes into. They're even going as far as like, how is this armor or weapons, what kind of wear and tear does it have? You know, are you in a muddy environment where your stuff's going to get mud all over it? Are you in a sandy environment where the sand is going to basically sandblast your area? That's the amount of detail, and I think that's awesome that they putting that amount of detail into it.
Effect that weather has on the materials. So if a character walks into a biome, that character's shader will reflect the weather. Simply put, if you walk out in the rain, you're gonna get wet. Right now, when you play the game, there's only a single texture handling all accumulation effects per asset. So my pitch to Chris was, let's make it procedural. How we did this was we used Substance Designer to automate any textures needed for any biome required. This alleviated all labor off the artists.
And if you want to look at any of that,
we have a bunch of people
you
creating the same thing, you're going to have different results because we all see things differently. Doing this procedurally solves the visual inconsistencies of biome accumulation. And of course, with graphic support, it's going to be even better. All in all, the reason this is so important to me is it gives us that immersive planet-side experience while playing the game. on my Friday nights.
Wear and biome accumulation are essential elements in creating a universe that feels simultaneously alive and lived in, with its expected and anticipated effects on players, buildings, and vehicles alike. And up next, the teams have been busy while we were away, so let's check in with the AI and EU Sandbox teams in this week's Sprint Report.
To get things started this week, let's jump into the world of AI with some sprint updates from a variety of tasks the team is tackling for both Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Up first is the Collision Resolver. Now, currently in the claustrophobic corridors of a ship or station, NPCs will often have no collision so that they can get to where they're going relatively unimpeded. But nobody wants characters just walking through other characters. So the Collision Resolver is a new system currently in development that will temporarily shrink the physics bubble of AI and change to the relevant animations, allowing them to pass through many situations they currently cannot.
I mean, they're probably going to improve on this, but they're talking about they don't want characters passing through each other. But I mean, in this case, it's still passing through. It's from if you've ever played Star Citizen, you would see where sometimes the characters would slide by each other like that. They would, that's pretty cool how they do that, and hopefully they continue to do that. But yeah, I mean, right now they're still kind of clipping through each other, so maybe they're going to improve that.
In addition, missions that require AI to come down from orbit and either deliver or pick up the player or goods often follow the terrain just a little too precisely, bouncing needlessly up and down over obstacles far, far below it, making it look, well, just janky as heck. So the AI flight path system is getting new features that allow for both local and look-ahead searches to determine not just safe altitudes that they can reach their destinations with, but also fly a more smooth and natural motion than ever before.
Well, that's cool.
This system can also potentially be used to allow NPCs to determine their own landing spots, using many of the same size and shape and availability judgments the players themselves have to use. And that's pretty cool. The team is also working to improve downstate reactions, as you can see here, where a group of actors discovers a fallen body. In this case, they might just rush over, investigate, and then
I mean, that's cool, but they're all reacting in a similar way, and I don't like that. I think that they all should have a uniqueness to them. I think it should have a unique reaction, to them to make it more feel individualized instead of just AI.
And out a scene here. Or perhaps they'll slowly approach with one person investigating while another stays behind to provide cover.
That's cool.
And for anyone that's ever done the underground facility mission, improved response times for when their investigation of a fallen comrade is interrupted by an uncautious player. The AI content folks have also recently completed a sprint on a variety of usables such as these vending machines, where AI will ponder their selections, use their Mobiglass to complete the purchase, and even get frustrated when it doesn't work out.
That's cool. I like that. I like a whole lot of, again, it being unique, an AI going over to the machine and acting the same way. I just, to me, that's a problem. It breaks immersion, but this is pretty cool to have different levels of interactions.
And then you can see here the entire carbonated refreshment flow behavior, where we get our drink, return to our table, consume our drink, and then dispose of it in the receptacle where it can be properly despawned.
I always do that.
Who
does that? I always dispose of my things in the trash. I think that's
And before we move on, let's go back to that failed reaction from before and see if we can really get inside the head of our AI in this.
And I think that would be cool. I think instead of, have like trash, if they make it aware if you pick up this stuff, you can get some sort of money for it, because you're going to have somebody that's going to go around doing nothing but picking up stuff. It'll help clean up the server. And then I think once it's sold to like scrap or something like that, the players can make a little bit of money off of it. I think that's pretty cool. Or let's say that, again, you want to help out the servers. You don't want to put a lot more strain on the servers. So what you do is you take your item, you take it over to the trash can, you put it in the trash can. Same way with like ships. So instead of people just dumping their trash all over the ship, they could take it to the trash can and dump it in the trash can and have it to delete. I do apologize about that. I have it to delete. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
All right, let's see. Think I'll go for a peach flavor today. Make my payment. Oi, what gives? Hello, Mr. Machine Man. Oi, bruv, give me my peaches and prawn delight. That ain't right. Hey, wakey wakey. I ain't got time for this. Well, maybe just a few minutes more. Hello.
Sorry about that.
Oi, this thing is really fastened in there, isn't it? Doesn't move an inch. Back in my day, we used to move these things all over the standing system. You're lucky you're not physicalized, bruv. Alright, moving along. Let's check in with the EU Sandbox team and their continuing work fleshing out the derelict outposts to be found on the surface of Pyro's planets and moons. What you're seeing here is a white box traversal test, the kind of work often done by level designers to flesh out aspects of the intended gameplay experience before artists come in and finish it out visually. And as you can see here, these derelict outposts are intended to be canvases to a variety of mission types and emergent opportunities, storytelling possibilities, and given that it's Pyro, maybe even some unavoidable PvP firefight eventualities. And in addition to working on the colonialism outposts, the EU Sandbox 01 team are also exploring new gameplay opportunities out in the farthest reaches of the upcoming Pyro system. What you're seeing here is some early pre-production work on larger scale points of interest to be explored throughout the system, utilizing debris from capital ships, or in this case, defunct, damaged, or destroyed space stations from days gone past. The upcoming Pyro system is intended to be rich with a history more violent and conflicted than the Stanton system you're already familiar with, and without the efforts of megacorporations like ArcCorp, Hurston, Microtech, and Crusader keeping things relatively nice and tidy. That means a variety of husks, relics, and otherwise aging locations to discover from the nearly 500 years of space travel and exploration that have occurred in this lawless frontier. This also includes variations with pre-existing pathing solutions intended to guide players safely to their destination through a damaging or otherwise dangerous array of obstacles, not unlike the famous coil from Squadron 42. Yeah, they may be lawless out here, but nobody wants to die unnecessarily speeding through an array of microasteroids or by losing hull integrity to corrosive agents and the like when making their way from one outpost to another. They're outlaws, but nobody likes a bad road trip. And beyond just being a cool place to explore visually, it's important these points of interest provide gameplay opportunities to players within. As the mission system spawns its myriad of mission types to explore, collect, attack, rescue, salvage, repair, and more, we also want to create environments that provide compelling reasons to leave your larger ships at the outskirts, safe from the dangers within, where a smaller craft would be perhaps a more tactically sound solution. And if you're asking yourself, well, what the heck is this place? We're going to talk more about what you're seeing here later in the year.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we got a glimpse at the earliest stages of feature iteration with a look at the exact same kinds of presentations given internally to directors to scope out work for the months ahead. That the AI team continues to push the everyday behaviors of NPCs in naturalistic ways in their continuing efforts to create an immersive experience for all players. And that traveling through space looks to get just a little more involved and potentially a lot more dangerous as we continue along with our path to Pyro. That does it for us this week. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
All right, Jared. So, all right, yeah, that was not that interesting of one. I wasn't it wasn't too packed with information, but anyways, hopefully the next one will be better. All right, guys, thank you guys for joining me, and again, if you like this and want me to continue this, hit the like button down, subscribe, share, all that, comment. All right, thank you. Y'all have a good one.